Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhavatapa Pranashine Ananda Ghanamurte, Jnana Bhakti Pradayine Matastubhyam Namo Namaha. Jai Ma everyone. You must have guessed what is this video all about. You see, some of you requested me that why don't you give your father's entire video that you had shot. You know, the interview. I had given a little excerpt in the last video that you must have seen, and some of you were very happy, seeing the video, and you requested that why don't you give us the entire video. So I've managed to pull it out, and you will find, you see, there was a whole gathering of all his students, and this was taken on the 1st of May 2003, like I had mentioned earlier. And on the 19th of June, he passed away. When you see him just now in the video, he had cancer. He had blood cancer. And he used to run fever all the time. His immunity was down, but look at him. He's radiating, So it's unbelievable the way he looked. So, the doctors had given me a time frame that he'll probably last for another 6 months, not more than that. But he went away almost in 1.5 months, So this was that day where I told him, let's do your interview, So he was very camera conscious all the time. So he would say, no, So you will see all that joking, laughing, all that going on also in the beginning. Because he wasn't aware that the camera was on. And then suddenly he realized that the camera was on. So he said, he went that way. So he was welcoming all his students and all that. And the person sitting on his left was Minal Modi, who is again not there anymore. And on his right, you'll see a little bit of, Rekha Khanna sitting on the floor. So it used to be a very informal gathering all the time, his teachings and everything. His students were not like students. They were like, it was a relationship which was like friends, they were all friends. So it is a very informal thing, and he's talked about Ma, and he's talked about different things. Those days I was a brahmacharini, so you will see a little bit of me in white. So he used to call me Nita, obviously because my name was Nita, so he would say Nita, he said all that in the video, which you will see. So there were questions which I was asking, and some of the students were also asking. And this is all I have, so I'm showing it to you, so have a look. And do comment and tell me what you think. Jai Ma.
Oh, hello, Shelba. Come. Where do you feel?
He's home. My phone is dead, landline. So my mobile choda. They're not working. It's recorded. No, it says that this is your name has been registered. Yeah. रिकॉर्डिंग ही चल रही है हमेशा रिकॉर्डिंग there's no person recording वो जमाना गया it's been registered now there's just repairing ना वो जमाना गया जब आप human contact कर सकते I hate leaving a message on an answering machine. Is this machine? Very bad.
What you like? With your phone, you have to unplug.
Or whatever else you know.
Jema. Not me, Nita. You know better than that. You know better than that. You see, uncomfortable. On Nilima. But, you're alright. તમે બહુ પાછળ Yeah, thanks, Nita. Nita.
We wait another 5-7 minutes.
Okay.
Don't start another 10 minutes. Just that parking and all is just difficult.
Come. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Are, Nita, sit down. Come, come. So nice of you to come.
For you. My heart is with you.
We are just about to start.
We wait for Madhvi and Rajani.
Okay. Then if you want to wait, she is getting better now with the food. The aroma. Oh, no. The aroma is beautiful. No, man. Namaskar. How nice of you to come. But after that,
Otherwise, I'll just take one and all. Or any question that you have. Or anything else that you want.
anything you can ask. But since we are talking about Ma, everybody wants to know about Ma. So, whatever little I know, I can elaborate. You don't have any question, no, Shilpa? That is your question. Oh. Beautiful. Rita, क्या
I don't think all is
Okay, I want to.
Victoria.
Hello, excuse me. Excuse me, Papa. I want to make an announcement. All mobiles will be off, please, everyone. And whoever wants to ask a question, please raise their hands because we are video filming. So we don't want the voices to be overlapped. Yeah?
We are waiting, no?
We should wait for Martin. And Rajni Bhagat hasn't been here.
Oh.
It's a connection to your heart and go to
Can you just talk a little louder so we know where he's getting
Sir,
it?
but we have not started talking. This is only internal conversation, nothing.
He just wants to test your voice in his camera.
Oh, I see. What shall I say now?
Say anything you feel like, but I'm loudly.
Generally the way you talk to
Yeah,
Nita.
yeah.
Generally talk to Nita.
You better listen to me, Nita.
I will also. I also.
Will you be talking on that volume?
That volume is a little more. But the point is, this is the volume with which I can. Is this alright? Or do you need me to talk even louder than what I'm doing right now? Is it possible to grasp
I
this?
don't consider
Okay, let's see. I mean, I think that voice would be enough.
That will be enough, no?
Yeah.
It's actually more than
Because we are going to introduce Ma. Not that you people don't know. And old bhaktas like her and her family, they know Ma even more than I do.
Oh my
So the question is, when I say something, I have to be careful.
Oh gosh. If only we could get this humility, humility.
You've taught us that too.
So it's all right. So, then I can start. So shall we start now, or do you think?
We'll start.
Yeah.
I think so, because otherwise it's no time.
Ye chalu be on him.
Got question number 1?
So come on. So,
Only just now.
I want to
shall
ask.
we start from the question, or
Yeah, I'll
do
start
you
with
say
my
introduction? Do you want to
I
give
think
an
first ask
introduction?
that.
Introduction.
With some introduction, and then we can start. Go.
I hope it's not uncomfortable.
Go. Say anything you want to.
We're all here today to talk about.
Loudly.
We're all here today to talk about Shri Ma, Nandi Mai Ma, and we've been so lucky to be here with Mr. Mehta, who's guided us and brought us here.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma,
Jai
Jai
Ma.
Ma.
Jai Ma. Jai Ma.
Okay.
Okay, Ma. I want to ask you, Pundrik Bhai. When did
Is
you
it
first
on?
meet
It's
Ma?
not on yet.
Is it on?
Yeah. Yeah.
When did you first meet Ma? Which year?
I met Ma for the first time in 1954, November, in Juhu. And I thought it was an accident, but it was not an accident ultimately. I found it. Because what happened is this, I was directed that here is a wonderful great saint who has come and would you like to meet her? And I said, if there's a great saint, why not go and meet? But you know, at that time, so I went to Juhu Beach and I was looking for Ma, and Ma suddenly appeared there. The moment Ma appeared there, I was floored. That was my first darshan, and that darshan completely changed me from that moment to today. Tat darshana dvast tamorajo malaha, in which it says in Bhagavad. The same thing. That one moment, one darshan, and I bowed from over there. She looked at that and knew that the shikar had caught. So that was the first thing. So that was.
No, nothing. We continue.
So we can hear you properly.
So therefore, from that onward, it became necessary for me to meet Mataji as much as I could. And I made it a point that I will meet her time to time, and whatever was possible within 2000 serving. And within that, it was not that easy to get fit, but I made it possible. There was no vacation I went to except to Ma. Right from the time 1954 till the time that Ma was there. Every vacation was at the feet of Ma. And I had,
Since you-
in between also, when Ma would come here every day, every evening with Ma. And at that time, since I was reading philosophy, I wanted to ask many questions to Ma. So I used to go to Ma. People would say, don't disturb Ma, she's busy with everything. I said, I'm not going to disturb her. I used to wait for her. In the evening when everybody would go away and Mataji would retire, I would sit outside the Parnakuti alone with so many other girls protecting her that nobody enters the Parnakuti. I would do my job or whatever I did and think, oh my Ma, I have come to see you. But the point is I can't come because all these people are preventing me from it.
You know, we want to ask you now, you know, there are devotees who know Ma, who've been to Ma, who know about Ma. There are lots of people who don't know what Ma is. You know, I
Right.
mean, over here right now in this gathering today, I think, you know, some of the people don't know what Ma is. We have experienced her magic, but they haven't. So supposing they have to ask you, who is Ma?
Right.
That you're talking so much about Ma.
Right.
Who is she but? You know, what would you say?
Yes, I'm coming to you. Who is Ma? Who was Ma? You can't say who was Ma. Who is Ma is the only question. See the great saints, yogis, and a number of sadhaka, and great philosophers like Gopinath Kaviraj have tried to understand who Ma is and have not been able to put her in any slot. They say it is impossible for us to put her in any slot and say that she is an avatar or she is they have not been able. But the question is we have to tackle the problem. Whatever they say. Therefore, I have found that Mataji's own words and what has happened to all those Mahatmas put together explains to some extent who Mataji is. Mataji has said three things. The first thing she says is, somebody asked, who are you? She said, Aap jo mano. Whosoever you think I am that. First. second answer is that jaisa bajayega aisa sunoga. Second is that. And the third thing is a jivo bhav,
Jemun Bhav,
jemun
Temila.
bhav,
Temila.
temilal. These are the three from which it is possible. Because Ma is what you think. I have known Mahatmas. After that I have met so many Mahatmas and so many sadhakas and so many Mahat Bhaktas. And from them I have gathered this news that people have seen Mataji not merely as a human form, but some have seen her as Krishna, some have seen as Shankara, some have seen as Durga, some have seen as Chinnamasta, some have seen in whatever form that you have your concept of the highest in the universe. What you have, you feel the body, what is within your heart, you have seen Mataji in that particular capacity. Therefore, this is one thing. Therefore, I say, I am what you think. What does it mean? It means that I am everything. I am all pervading. I am without form. I am nirakara. But the question is, for you to understand me, you have to project a concept, and therefore I will be able to put me in that concept, and therefore be able to see me who I am. Because you cannot find me in the nirakara state. But I have known people who have found her in nirakara state. In the sense that when they have found her in that nirakara state, they are not there. Ego, that is cosmic consciousness. The consciousness merged and they have found that they are everything, including the sky, including the stars, including everything. And then they say, but we were not there. There is no experience here. So all these things, I have met people and all of them have come from this kind of thing about Mataji, all that. So who is Mataji? Another very interesting thing about Mataji is we know about avatars, so many, Ram avatar, Krishna avatar, so many avatars. And you see 20 avatars we talk about in Bhagavad Purana. What do they come for? They come for a cause. They have a mission to fulfill. All of them have a mission to fulfill. Mataji is the one thing who never had a mission to fulfill. She has come down, and therefore what does it mean? Come down without a mission? Ahetu ki kripa. It is a causeless benediction that it is there. Anyone who is there, who is capable of taking it, take it. It's the open sea, go and collect as much water as you can from it. And therefore people are attracted, and so many people are blessed just because they have come near her vicinity. And that's the way she came. She had no purpose, but she changed the lives of many, took them to mukti, took them to bhakti, took them to anything that they hoped for. And with the great, her usual laughter and her joy with which she emanated and all that, she changed so many people. It is a sensitivity and your own growth which was there for the purpose of coming near her and finding that you are transformed. It is she. Therefore, that is one. Another thing which he said, Jaisa bajayega,
Vaisa Sunoga.
aisa sunoga. What does it mean? It means that with whatever how you come to me, you will get a total response. Who can say that? A person who has no ego alone can say that when you come to me with a particular point of view, a particular ego, that reflects upon me. And because it reflects upon me, I respond completely towards you. Therefore, it fulfills your needs. Whatever is lacking in you, I am going to fill you up with the perfections which I have. Because you come to me with your imperfections, and this is what Rigveda also says, that when you do yagna, yagna means only one thing. You sacrifice your infirmities, and I have the capacity to fill you up with my perfection. What sacrifice? The presence of Ma was enough to undergo this totality of change. This was Ma. So therefore, it is the Bhavatmak Jagat. This whole Jagat is nothing but Bhava. It is not intellect. It is the Bhava with which you approach. And that responsible. You go to Ma and say, you are my mother. You see the Punjabi ladies always say, we only know her as a Ma, which is wonderful. Because Ma will take you, and there are people I know who said, we went to her saying you are God, and we have seen nothing but God. Likewise, I have talk to people, and they say, what are you talking about? I have seen her only as a flame, Jyotihi, Jyotisham Jyotihi, and nobody. He said, Chinmaru, Chinmay means total consciousness. This whole universe is nothing but consciousness. And he said, what is the akara? What is the question of any naam or rupa? Does not have a naam or rupa. That is what you project, and that is what you see in the body. But if you have the capacity, the sensitivity, you look at her, and what do you see? You only see Jyoti. Nothing else you can see. It's just that. And therefore, what can we say who she is? Only you can say Jai.
She called herself Purna Brahma Narayana. And somebody asked her, "Tum kaun ho?" So somebody said, she said, "I'm Purna Brahma Narayana." So somebody said, "Narayan, but you are in a human, female form." So she says, "Narayani." Then she said, "Mahadev, Mahadevi." How do you explain that?
Say everything. What is Narayani and what is Mahadevi? She is the one who, as it is said in the Purusha Sukta and in Rigveda, that when Purusha decides to create, it creates, first of all, a place which becomes Brahman. And Brahman divides into Vishnu Shakti. And that Shakti is the one which is given the task of creation. So that Shakti which creates is not. Because she creates, she maintains, she annihilates. It's the totality of everything that she is. And to come down with she has not come down with human form. She is already pervading, but she has put herself into the small thing for people who are unable to see her totally, at least to be able to view. That there is something, some power, some magic, some energy which is there, but she is not contained in it. She is always outside. And in her presence, higher intelligences have come. Higher intelligences have showered flowers over her. Higher intelligences have begged of her for her mercy. Right? Who is she?
When we say this, how is it that many people were affected by her and still today they are affected by her, and yet many others are not touched by her?
Correct.
Why is it like that? Because she's come for everyone.
She has come for everybody. But the point is the growth of the people as well as the sensitivity of the people is important in grasping. Like this, there are people who are so evolved, but when it comes to music, they won't know the difference between one tune and another. Why? It doesn't mean that they are not involved. The question is, in that respect, they are still not so very involved. But the question is, everybody who has touched Ma, or wherever Ma has touched anybody, their progress is assured. Today or tomorrow, this life or next life, the road is open. So it will come. Question is when? Who can answer that question as to when?
And when she was here, she always said, "I'm nobody's guru." And yet we all consider her to be our guru.
Correct.
How do you explain that?
Beautiful. Ma always says that who is the guru? Do you know? When Ma has given Diksha, now these are not the things known to everybody, but I am going to tell you.
Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah. When Ma has given Diksha, she has said that my Diksha does not make me guru, but it will arise your inner guru, and that inner guru is me. So where is the distinction? He said this Diksha or this benediction, blessing I am giving you will open up your own inner higher guru. And that guru, when it's open up and guides you, you will find that in me. So is she a guru? She is not. You can tell her she is not a guru. You can say she is guru, but her body is, you may not say is not a guru. But I even don't say that. Whatever she is, even the little ansha which she is pujaniya. So how can you possibly?
Now, since we say that she is Purna, right? Why did she have to enter this process of sadhana?
See, all this Mahatmas, you can't even call them Mahatmas, but they come down for what purpose? Their purpose is to sanctify everything. Therefore, fortunately, in the case of Ma, she has sanctified not only sadhana, but every form of living. She has become a housewife. She has served her husband. She has served the people. She has cooked food. What is mean? Does she need to cook? The Rajeshwari of the three worlds needs to cook food for you and me? No. The question is, she has done it because she is that I am sanctifying everything that human beings are doing. And through that sanctification, it is possible for you to find the road to Mukti. In the same way, she said, this sadhana is not something which I need to do. But since you people have to go to the sadhana, I am doing it, performing with myself so that the sanctified sadhana would pervade amongst you. This, likewise, she entered, Ganga Nadi came to her in the subtle form and said, Ma, come to me because I have been become so apavitra by so many that your feet will make me pavitra. And therefore she has gone to Ganga Nadi, put her foot in it. And Ganga says, I am now purified.
I think somebody had a question on that, no? About Narmada.
Yeah, about Narmada.
Ah.
They say you had mentioned about the experience
Yes.
Narmada had with Ma.
Correct. Narmada had actually, that was in this
Bhimpura.
Bhimpura. In the Bhimpura ashram, as the whatever happened, Nita and I were there at that time. And all that. So the question is, Narmada, it was a particular day on which Mataji with so many other people were walking on the shores of Narmada. And the water of Narmada used to jump and fall on the feet of Mataji. Once, twice, and Mataji would go further away and the water would go further away. And sort of. Then, at one stage, a garland which was in the Narmada also flew and fell on the feet of Mataji. So then people could not stop asking, there is something, because the garland can't fly from that distance and fall on your feet without any reason at all. So she had to say, she said, look, today is the day of the Purna Prakash of Narmada. Narmada today has come to enlightenment. And therefore she is doing this and she is singing also. And that singing was also, I hope I remember the word, Mama
Dipkari,
Mama Antara Dipakari, Mama Antara Ujashitakari. These were the words. And who got it? Uja. I mean,
Chabidi.
Chabidi. Chabidi got these words. And she was saying that this is what is being. And then Narmada wanted, the soul of Narmada wanted private with Mataji, and then they retired to the basement which is already there. In that Ma said, now no disturb anybody for 2 hours. And they were closeted with each other for 2 hours. And that is the
place in
today
the
there where
farm.
people go for meditation and all that. So who is Ma?
You know, in the ashrams, they claim that Ma has made a lot of rules for the ashram. So once you go, like people go to the ashram, they feel, यहाँ तो बहुत नियम है. They've made this rule and that rule. What do you have to say? Ma is beyond all rules. So why
Ma
do
has no rules. There is nothing like even Shuddhi or Ashuddhi or nothing. She is beyond everything. The question is, Ma gives rules or gives what you should do according to what is needed by you. Therefore, each ashram say, please follow this thing because that is suitable for those people there and for that. What has Ma to do with it? Ma is beyond all rules and she can break any rules. She has made the rules by all our country. So no rule applied to her. No. Number of times people have said, Ma does this, Ma does this, Ma, you can't go to Ma without this and you can't go. And I have broken so many rules and gone to Ma. That also I tell you. And Ma only has never laughed and come with love.
And why do you think that Ma had no rules? What was...
Because what rules? Who makes the rules? That Parabrahma Narayan you say has rules. She creates the rules, she breaks the rules. She creates the universe, she breaks the universe. And to her there is a rule. She can transcend any rule. Neither time nor space, anything.
So
people have seen that for the purpose of this diksha, for the purpose of this ritual, you need this nakshatra, you need this, you have to sit on the before the particular direction, that is Purva or Uttar and all these things. And they go to Ma. In 1 minute Ma says, don't worry about it. Do whatever it is. There's the mandapa. He said, but we have not observed the rules. He said, no. I'm sitting here, no rules are involved. What rule? To her, to us, yes. It is like this. When you are a young child, you are given these lines for the purpose of writing your ABCD. But when you grow, the lines go away and then you write ABCD without it. Ma has already grown long after. She doesn't need the rules to write her ABCD. But you need and I need. Therefore he tells us that these are the rules you may follow. But to her, what rule? She breaks every rule. She breaks destinies. She has changed destinies of people. What is the
So whatever rules she has given to particular people are only confined to them.
To them.
It's not the absolute truth,
It-
because
nothing
if
is
you see
absolute.
people saying ये तो माँ का नियम है, ये ऐसा नहीं होगा, but that is not so, because that rule is meant probably for that person or that group of people. You know?
Correct. Absolutely right. There's no rule for Mata. You can break any rule before her.
What do you mean by saying that she breaks destinies?
She changes destinies. There are a number of times you have seen, and I have been witness to this, where she has said that this particular person, certain things interfere with her, with his spiritual growth. All right. She goes and sleeps and says, don't worry, I am taking over everything. And the man is free from that. This is one way. There are many other ways. But this is one way suggesting which I have seen myself in there.
There are other ways you've seen.
Of transcending destiny. So what is destiny? Destiny is in Maya, and she is in truth. How can there be any relationship between truth and untruth? This world which we are living in is Maya, is untruth. And there can be no, the person who is in truth cannot change what is not in Maya. It is like our dream. You say that your dream is more important than reality. That is Ma. Namaskar.
Okay, one more question. Why did she give so much importance to jap? She's constantly saying jap karo, when religious scriptures always are talking about different yogas also.
See, the reason is this. In different yugas, the importance was given to, we just say, yagnas. Now there are elaborate yagnas going on for 1,000 years. Or there are so many other ways in which say Panch Yagna during life. Now, all those things in Kali Yuga is impossible for people to do. Therefore, they say that what is Japa? Japa is the name of God. And the name of God is God itself, because it has been repeated by Mahatmas for thousands of years. And it has the power and the potency of transformation, human transformation. And therefore, that Japa is the biggest yagna. You in Gita also you know that Japa is the biggest yagna, and Krishna said, I am Japa. This is what in Gita said. Therefore, he said, in this Kali Yuga, it is impossible for you to follow the rules of the earlier period because you don't understand, nor if the old enough, I mean, your life itself is very short. In that case, what is the easiest way to come to enlightenment? And he said Japa, because Jap is me. And therefore, what does Jap do? Jap brings about internal Shuddhi. Chittasya Shuddhaye karma, natu vastu upalabdhaye. Vastu siddhir vichare na kichit karma kodime. Gita. Gita says the whole purpose of all sadhana is to cleanse your heart and to be completely pure within. It is that purity which will automatically attract. There is nothing you can do to attract. But he comes down because your heart is pure. Aurobindo also says that in a heart which is impure, do you expect the mother to descend? He said she tries to come and goes away, saying impossible this item. But the moment it is clean, it comes down and transforms you and makes you ready for the enlightenment. Aurobindo. So this is what japa does. Japa cleanses. Constant japa cleanses. They say when you japa comes to Shwasoshwas, when it gets connected in 24 hours, he says, what do you want to do thereafter? Nothing, he said. You have reached where nothing can stop you from enlightenment. Oh, jap, that Manomaya jap. How is it? Therefore, jap is the easiest and best way in this world. Everything is difficult. And jap leads to meditation. Jap leads to everything. Therefore, what? So much importance to Maya gives to jap.
If she had no ego, obviously she had no ego, how did she react to people asking questions to her or coming in her vicinity?
See, this is a very interesting thing. Ma never had an ego, means what? Anybody who approached her, his reflection fell on her. Therefore, the response came from that which did not have ego. Therefore, the response was always appropriate. Therefore, you were given exactly what you needed. It never came from ego. It came from outside ego. And therefore, her perception being complete, the action was an integral part of that perception of the person who was before, or any situation before her reflected within her egoless self or heart. And therefore, she being total, Her response was total, and that total response means wanting to free you from the shackles of samsara. That's the only purpose she was there.
My God. That's it. Amazing. How did she respond to each one in a manner that the questioner was always satisfied? You know, they would go and say, they would go with so many different problems I know of, you know.
Yeah.
And they would come back saying, I mean, they've forgotten about their problem, they forgot the question also in her presence, they forgot everything and they came out just totally satisfied and going home like drunk, you know.
Correct. And answer comes because her question, his self, his question, everything which is in him, good, bad or whatever you call it, reflects like a mirror in which is. But that mirror is not something dead. It is a living mirror which is Jyoti, itself Chinmay. And in that Chinmay she knows what is it that is needed for perfection of this particular person or whatever. Kills up whatever is not needed and brings about the change. What more thereafter, you don't need to ask questions. The questions get answered. Mind-to-mind questions are answered. Everything is happened in the presence of mind. But she knows what you need at that time.
And even if there are hundreds of thousands of people
Correct.
gathered, people would still get their answers.
Everybody would get.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously, everybody gets.
Can you elaborate on this mind-to-mind questions?
How else can I'll give you one example of myself, which I didn't want to talk about, but now that there's a simple thing, therefore I say. I had a very interesting philosophical question in my mind, which I struggled with which, and I said, if I can meet Ma, I can get an answer, but how can I meet Miss Wife? And then whole crowd was sitting there, and I was sitting almost last on the bench. I said, now how can I get private Ma? It's impossible today. So I was almost giving up the hope. But the question was haunting my mind. I looked at her and said, Man, this question I want to ask, but I don't have the time to ask you. So what can I do? This was in my mind. She looked at me from there, and from there she said the answer 9 to 9. So this is the answer. From distance, from the very back of it, I bowed to my answer. Thank you, I have answered. This is the answer. Tell me, what would you say to that? Her awareness is something which you cannot. Another thing in Dehradun also, I think. Okay, I was anyway. One day she was surrounded by hundreds of people asking so many questions, this question, that. I came behind and my mind was only on this. I said, Ma, all I want to do is to touch your father for the purpose of purifying myself. But I'm not going to talk about anything. I just very quietly, so nobody would look at me, no. Touch my father. I mean, just touch. She looked back and said, so be it. I never understood that. So be it. But khatam. Your awareness is everywhere. This is awareness. That no matter whether you are here and they say, Ma appears in Delhi, Ma appears in Calcutta, Ma appears in so many places. Yes, because her awareness is universal. Why this? She is aware in Brahmalok, she is conscious of any Jnanaganj. How many times people have seen her in Jnanaganj and found that she is the queen of Jnanaganj. She is there. What is that? At the same time, you will find her in Bombay. So she has no limitations. Limitations are with us. She has, what limitation can have Parabrahman Narayani? What limitation can have Parabrahman Narayani have? But this is what she was. Yeah.
But why did she choose to come in a particular household or be born into a particular household?
I think the best person to answer is she. Must be, you can theorize in so many ways, karmas, this, that, so many things. But that household must have certain amount of purity within it. Let me show you. And aspiration. Aspiration, purity, and readiness for the ultimate journey. There is another thing which Bhagavad says. You come across such you can't even call a Purusha. So such avatars you come across only when you are ready for mukti.
Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
This is what Bhagavad says. But he said, you come across them, mukti, and then he said, you have no choice. You are driven to it.
But sir, the limited time that she took body and the people who came in contact with her, was it their destiny, only their destiny to meet her?
Can we say so? Can there be any destiny before Ma? Can we not say that Ma chose? It must be their sensitivity, but at the same time, Ma's call. It is like a fisherwoman. She's tried to call as many as people, and only these people who are sensitive enough got attracted and came to her. So the other people have also will come in due course.
But today, people who have not met Ma, I mean, even if they, are in this discussion or they feel the essence of Ma, cannot they also?
They can, because what is Ma? Ma is not the physical body. Ma is all pervading. I asked Ma once, said, Ma, suppose when you don't have a body, what will happen? She said, what are you talking about? Where am I not? All pervading. This is what she said to me. I could not answer. What do you mean?
And have you ever felt Ma, after she went?
After that, when do I not feel Ma? Do you think that touch of Ma ever goes on? All the time you cannot forget Ma. There are many things you forget, but Ma can you forget? That is her benediction. It is her grace.
Like Ma, sometimes I heard somebody saying that Ma said that you people think you love me, but you have no clue how much more I love you all.
That love of God and our petty love of human beings, which is full of wanting something out of another person, I mean, can it be compared? How can it be compared?
You mentioned something about her being in Gyanganj in Bombay at the same time. Can you say a little bit about her being in Gyanganj?
About what?
Young
About
and
her
young.
being in Gyanganj.
Gyanganj, you see, apart from heaven worlds and various other worlds, there are so many worlds. Even we are not aware, but in Rig you will also find that human beings are always in touch with higher levels of consciousness, and that was a normal way of life, normal way of, we have lost all that. But the question is, likewise, there are many areas or plateaus created by Mahatma where people exist even in the subtler worlds, even today. And those subtler worlds also are able to descend down. You will be surprised that in Tibet and Lord, this is a very accepted thing. And you will be also surprised to see that a film on the subject was made, and I saw it in America. This sort of film.
No. What she's asking is, how do you explain that Ma was in Gyanganj as well as in Bombay at the same time? Over
Because all pervading. What is all pervading? Does Ma require a particular body to be there? Or though she has a body so that you can concentrate, she pervades everywhere, so she can't touch there and she can't touch here. Simultaneous level, there is no such thing as time and space to that person.
Were there any instances of
Many.
Yeah. Can you just
One that I'll tell you about the person who was drowning in
the Ganges.
Hooghly. We went in Dehradun at that time. And in Dehradun, Ma was sitting with the Sabha. People asking questions and everything else. And suddenly, Ma was completely drenched, with water. I mean, not that she has to, but that is exactly. So she immediately said, what happened? Nothing. She got out and changed her clothes and came back. So everybody said, Ma, what happened? Hey, come in.
You're on camera. Carry on speaking.
Yeah. So, what happened? She didn't reply. Now, 2 days after, a man came rushing into that very thing and Sakshar Dhamma Pranam Kumar, Jayama, you saved me and all that. So people said, what happened? He said, Ma had warned me not to jump in the Hooghly at that particular spot. But he said, I wanted to get. So, how we did disobey her all the time. So he said, I jumped into that particular place for the purpose. And I know how to swim. So he said, why not? So he jumped. He jumped and began to drown. When he began to drown, he said, "Wow, मैं तो मर गया." I am drowning. He said, that moment I saw Ma on that particular what do you call rock pulling me out. And she said, okay, put me down and disappeared. That was the moment when we saw that she was drenched in Dehradun, and this is because of her. Then there is a story of Gyanganj.
How did she help different people of different faiths?
Can
You know?
we complete this
Yeah, sorry.
answer? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Gyanganj, what is the name of the person who came?
Kedar.
Kedar was a member of Gyanganj, a young fellow, but a sadhak of Gyanganj, developed person. There is no doubt about it. The guru of Gopinath Kaviraj, Vishuddhanand, went to Gyanganj and brought him over to Dehradun to meet Mataji. Why all that is God knows. Details I don't know. So he bowed to Mataji and then he was very obviously impressed. He said, "Ma, I'm a resident of Gyanganj, why don't you come to Gyanganj?" So Ma started laughing. She said, "You go back to Gyanganj and look for me, you will probably find me there." So he goes back to Gyanganj, which is a subtle world from Tibet in a subtle form, and comes back after cruising. "Ah, but you are the center of it." I saw you there, he said, by meditating on you, you were there looking at me. So, Ma, what do you say? This is it. So you can't say, so do you think Ma is not in Swarga? She is known as the queen of three loks. So this lok, the other lok, Antariksha and Swarga. Everywhere you will find that. Division is for us. Limitations are for us. They are beyond limitation. So to them all. Therefore we pray to God. It is only her grace, her krupa we need for our transformation, not for our yukti. Nothing more, no sadhana, nothing is as important as the grace of that one little jhalak from the eye, a little karuna, and our job is done. What sadhana are we capable of doing? What jnana have we got? Nothing have we got. All we have got is humility. And with humility we approach and say, "There's nothing I know, but you are my mother, you are everything, whatever you call it, please help me out of this mess. This samsara is completely ruining me. So I want to be free from samsara. And please help me be outside samsara." And she does. This is humility. But if you go with it, "I know, I am a Gyan Yogi, I know everything," then you better stay here and know everything. Humility is the very center of meditation. In meditation, what is required is humility. And with yoga, when you go deep into meditation, what do you see? You see that it is only she, or he, whatever you call it. But there is no she and no he there. It is here we make the difference. That's it. God can be taken only through love, not interest. It is the overflowing love which gets his response. No way to find it.
But they say also that knowledge also helps you get rid of.
Yes. For knowledge, reading books, everything is very important because it is satsang. It keeps you in that mood. But the question is, what is the final thing? Final thing is humility and rising from the heart and say, "Hey Bhagavan, come to me. I need you. I can't live without you." It is that yearning of the heart which enters you. Not the analytical ability of knowing all the religions and all the philosophy and all the yam niyam. They are important, but up to a point. But the real thing is the grace.
It's pure love. And that is what you've given all of us.
I'm talking
pure
about
love.
Ma's love.
Through
Where is
Ma,
Ma's love?
through
Ma's
Ma's
love.
grace,
Ma's love.
Ma's grace.
Ma's grace. But only. So we look Nobody else.
Anybody wants to ask any question?
Nobody else wants to ask questions. Nita is the only one who is asking.
Nalin Kaka wants to ask.
Ah,
I was going to ask you a question,
please.
but in your reply you already answered that question.
Yes.
And that question was whether it is a he or a she. At that level there is no
No
sex.
he and there is no she.
So
Correct.
it's beyond.
Beyond he and correct, absolutely. There is a body, there is no body, it is Chinmay. It is a consciousness, all consciousness. That's all that. And she, in the presence also what happens? When your consciousness rises to her level and what you think, you see a she or he. You see purity of consciousness, there's nothing there. It's benediction, only benediction. Grace, blessings.
I suppose when you take human form, like all gods, they come down in different genders.
Human form is all at a point, but other is not. It has to be dropped and gone up. But it is necessary for mukti. Because you have said the gods, there is higher levels of intelligence need to take birth into matter for the purpose of ultimate mukti. For the simple reason that unless the whole cycle of creation has been transcended, they can't. But there are, in Vedas and all that you find that there are so many outpourings of Shakti by which people not only come to human level, but directly without entering the human level, they go to spiritual levels of existence. But those are the people, they have great power, they are wonderful, but they are not entitled to mukti. They have to descend down one step to be entitled to mukti. Therefore, when a human being reaches that particular level after crossing things, and like Mataji, then they also go and pray. Gods go and pray.
So gods will come down to Ma.
To Ma. And from Ma's body, all the gods have come out. That also you know. How Ganesha, Shankar, everybody is coming out of Ma. Durga, Kali, everybody has come out of Ma. You see so many examples of it. What is it? Because Ma is all pervading.
Are there any instances when Ma has had conversations or you have known with other entities of higher forces?
People say they have seen. People have experiences, and especially in what do you call it? Almora and Dawalchinna, Ma has been standing right on the what do you call the mountain that is snow mountain, raising the hand, and the higher power said coming down.
She was just standing with her hands up.
And all the people down the
Yeah, and people downstairs and seeing Abhasa. They don't see the actual, you see, they don't have the kind of material body that you and I have, but they have got, how to say, ephemeral bodies. That is to say, they change. Also, they don't keep the same shape. And they appear, they disappear. They appear, they disappear. And they give homage to Ma, give flowers to Ma. All things will happen. No doubt. So what is Ma? I tell you, if you go on talking about Ma, my own, it will be definitely Ma has been somebody, and all of us are blessed. No question. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. So, anything more? It's already over. 3 o'clock.
The essential philosophy of Ma, if you had to say it in a few words, the essence, the spirit of what Ma had to communicate.
Self-knowledge. He says, in the process of self-knowledge, everything is included because there are two ways of self-knowledge. How I put it this way. One is the direct ascent from duality to the non-dual position, which what do you call it, Myanmar talks about. And another is yoga in duality. In yoga in duality concentrates more on transformation of the ego. And then when the ego is transformed from, as I say, from cactus to the flower, it is surrendered to the feet of God. And therefore there is unity between the sadhak and the sadhya. That is it. In the case of the Myanmar, it's direct flight. But that flight is only possible if that particular sadhaka has humility. Without humility, that flight is an impossibility. So, in my opinion, I am not saying this is the opinion of Mahatma, but in my opinion, the moment you combine Jnana with humility, are you not combining Jnana with Bhakti? How can you have humility unless you have got Bhakti within your heart? Pure Jnana is without Bhakti cannot be possible. Humility is Bhakti. How can I be humble? I am humble before the great, the greatness of God. God. Because I say, hey Bhagavan, I am nobody. You are the Purna, I am the Amsha. So please help me. If I have that with Jnana, I can enter meditation. Therefore they say, better to start with Bhakti and graduate into Jnana, then start in Jnana and then enter Bhakti. It is possible, but difficult task. Because Jnana often gives you greater ego, while Bhakti gives you surrender, humility. दो हाथ जोड़ के हम तो कुछ नहीं है. अरे if माँ could see कि मैं तो तेरी छोटी बच्ची हूँ, तो वो माँ is your छोटी बच्ची, she always used to come and अरे मैं तो तेरी छोटी बच्ची हूँ. अरे माँ, you are our छोटी बच्ची. What humility?
We are constantly told to read Gita, Bhagavad, that Krishnamurti rejects everything. What would you say to that? How do you bring the two together? You say it is the same, there is no contradiction.
There is no contradiction. There is none. See, I will have to go little deeper into it in that case, because now that I have discussed with everybody here. There are two levels of reality. One level of reality is constantly in a flux. That which is ephemeral, comes into existence, which we call samsara. This samsara is everything which is in a state of flux. But that samsara comes out of something which is imperishable, permanent. Why? Because samsara itself comes into existence, goes away, it does not completely disappear. Therefore it has a source. Because it has a source, it means that source itself is permanent, imperishable.
ओम भवताप प्रणाशिन्ने आनंद घनमूर्तये ज्ञान भक्ति प्रदायिने मातस्तुभ्यं नमो नमः. Jai Ma, that was that. See you again.